We're following a developing story out of the PGA Championship in Kentucky. We told you this at the start of the hour. World #1 golfer Scottie Scheffler arrested while trying to enter the Valhalla Golf Club ahead of today's second round. He's facing multiple charges, including assaulting a police officer. Scheffler was released and has since returned to the course. For more on this, let's bring in James Colgan. He's a writer with golf.com. James, thank you so much for scrambling to get ready for us and talk to us about the latest. What happened?
Yeah, a pretty wild morning here in Louisville. It seems like just before 6 a.m. there was some sort of accident just outside of the golf course here involving a pedestrian who was unfortunately killed. And as a result of that accident, basically police shut down the entire road going in either direction into the golf course. The tournament officials sort of scrambled and were able to set things up so that players would be allowed on site. And when Scottie Scheffler sort of routed himself around traffic to get into the golf course, he was stopped by police. I believe he attempted to explain who he was and why he was trying to get onto the golf course, but I'm not sure that that information quite got to the police. They wound up stopping him about 20 feet after he had driven past them. There was a bunch of yelling, and then he was detained and taken back to a Louisville jail. The last hour or so has been even more chaotic. He was booked, he was charged, and then he was turned around and driven right back to the golf course, where he remains now about 30 minutes away from his tee time in what is supposed to be the second round of this tournament where he's in contention. So there's a lot of unknown right now. We're not clear if Scottie is going to be playing. We're not clear what exactly has happened behind the scenes, but we know he's back on site here, and he is at least considering the option of teeing off at 10:08 a.m. when he is expected to.
So this is bonkers.
Yeah, her jaw just dropped to the floor.
I know, because I'm like, all that happened and he's still making his tee time. So all of that was for nothing, right? Because that's what he wanted to do. So first, do we know what he was charged with? And have we heard anything from the PGA?
Yeah, so we have heard from the PGA that the situation is fluid and ongoing. We know he was charged with assault of a police officer, criminal mischief, and reckless driving. But the truth is that we just don't know exactly what caused all of this. It sounds like there was some sort of massive misunderstanding outside of the entrance of the golf course. Something to remember here, or something to note, is that the road that leads into Valhalla is 2 lanes wide, and it has been absolutely chaotic this entire week. There have been a bunch of vehicular accidents along the road as the week has progressed. There have been a bunch of issues with traffic flow and with the police sort of jetting out into the middle of traffic. So it's pretty easy to understand how a player could think that he was, in the right to be leading himself onto the golf course, and the police who were working the event might have felt differently. The fact that he's been back here so quickly would seem to indicate that, at least some element of this has allowed him to kind of speed the gears of justice a little bit to get back to the golf course in time.
Yeah, but clearly the PGA wanting some more information before they, release a more detailed statement. But just help us out, for people who aren't aware of golf, they don't follow. How big of a deal is this, and who Scheffler is? Explain that to us.
Man, this is a massive story. Scottie Scheffler has been the best golfer we've seen play over a 12-month stretch in pro golf, probably since Tiger Woods.
Wow.
And that is high praise that I do not give lightly. But he has been playing at an absolutely dominant level over the last 12 months. He entered this week fresh off the birth of his first child. He had not played in the last 10 or so days. And he came out yesterday and was far and away one of the most compelling and interesting and, best players in the field. He sits 5 strokes back of the lead right now, but he is firmly in contention for this tournament. And before all of this stuff happened, I would say he was still probably by far the betting favorite for the tournament going into this morning. Now, I don't know how all of this is going to affect his tournament chances, but
his mindset is for
surely.
Sure.
Yeah, of course. But yeah, it's been a pretty wild day. And when you think about of all the players that this could have happened to in the field, by far, Scheffler is the most shocking and probably also the most interesting to the average sports fan.
All right, I can only imagine. James, thanks. So unfortunate for the fan, too, or whoever that person was. I mean, geez, you come to enjoy probably a sport that you love. James Colgan, thank you so much.
Thank you, guys.